Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, and welcome back to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. I woke up today with a lot of anxiety. I hate to say it. And I just want to give you some context. This past week, I had gone to New York City with my 10-year-old daughter. I don't know if you've been watching my stories. We had a great time. We drove from Northwest Indiana. So we live really close to Chicago, and we drove all the way to New York City. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but we did this. We went there and back. Overall, I think it was around like 13 hours with stops and traffic and stuff. And I don't know, I'll tell you more about my trip some other time. But this anxiety is coming from a place of I got into my office and I just have so much stuff to get back to, so much stuff to do. And this episode really isn't about me. This is about us, you and me, because a lot of you woke up today with some anxiety. You felt overwhelmed. You felt just exhausted and going, oh my God, I have so much to do. So I got in my office today and I just have a lot on my plate. I was asked to be a guest speaker in a couple different communities. I knew I had to just create this podcast episode. I had some client work to get back to, just like auditing sales pages and content. I had client calls. I had things that I knew I had to do today. And yeah, I was like, how am I going to do all this like today? And I know you might have woke up today kind of feeling the same thing. Like you have endless to-do lists. You might even have like big projects that you want to accomplish and really want to tackle. I know for me, I wanted to really sit down and remap out one of my courses, Social Selling 101. I want to re-record that and give it new life. I also wanted to re-record and redo my mini course that I did recently. Like, so there's so many things in my mind where I'm just like, oh my God, it's just an endless list of things to do. So you might be in the same boat where you have all these things that you want to do. You might be putting off some stuff because they're like big projects. And yeah, just like left and right, you're maybe being called to help out with your kids, or your husband's like, where's this or where's that? Or, hey, we have this birthday party coming up and this Christmas party. And this is also that time of year where yeah, you're probably planning Christmas time, Christmas parties, wrapping gifts, and just thinking of everyone but yourself. But you might also be like really thinking a lot about your business, because I know deep down, because I'm a very ambitious business owner. So, welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. But yeah, I am ambitious, and there are days where I just really want to work. All right. But this episode, we're going to really get into it, but the next 15, 20 minutes of this episode is really for you, just taking some time for yourself to ground yourself and just take a hot minute to relax, okay? I won't be doing any sort of meditation with you. It will be more like a pep talk, all right? I'd love to be able to do some sort of meditation with you, but honestly, if you told me right now, like, Allison, we're going to meditate, I'd be like, no, you're out of your mind. I have too much stuff to do and my brain's just moving way too fast, all right? And if you're in the car, obviously meditating just isn't great. And I know a lot of you guys are listening to this while you're picking up your kids in the school rider line, whatever word you want to call it. You're doing this during, you're listening to this like while you're doing dishes or maybe during nap time, stuff like that. And I get it. But all I'm going to ask you to do right now is take some deep breaths with me. Okay. That's all I'm asking. 6 deep breaths. All right. So we're going to do that now. And your deep breaths can be as obnoxious as you want them to be. All right, let's go. You can make them a little dramatic. The next few, just hold that breath a little bit longer at the top. All right, one more big one with me. Okay, so now I hope you're feeling more grounded, hopefully just a tad more relaxed. And I want to tell you that you're going to be okay. Honestly, that's all I want someone to tell me today is that, Allison, you're going to be okay. All right. I know your life might be crazy stressed out right now, and your brain won't stop just adding more and more things to your to do list, but everything is going to be okay. You are okay in this exact moment. All the things that you have on your mind are valid and important. All the things that are on your to do list are things that will eventually get done, but they might not all get done today or possibly even this month. But I want you to breathe. Breathe. All the things that you can accomplish will get done. But you need to chill. All right. Your big goals and your money desires are on their way to you. I want you trusting that. They desire you just as much as you desire them. I am spiritual in the sense that I do believe that the universe gave me all of my desires and my big dreams because I was meant to achieve them. Like, this is a part of my soul's purpose. Everything I want and desire are actually achievable. However, we focus so much on having it like right now, right? And that is where a lot of our anxiety comes from as business owners. We want things to happen fast. We want them to happen today in this exact moment. And I used to tell myself that I had to wait to feel happiness until I got like a new client or I hit a certain money goal. I have made a lot of money in my lifetime. Waiting to feel happiness and joy until you actually get a new client or make a certain amount of money will never work. Will not end well for you if you decide to wait to feel happiness or feel that sense of even success until a certain time. All right. If you've had one client, please celebrate that. That is a huge win. If you had your first $2,000 month, please celebrate this. Celebrate as you go. Okay. This is a business journey. You will grow, you will succeed, you will have failures, you'll have setbacks. There's going to be things that happen, all right? But you can't wait to feel joy because that's just not a healthy way to grow your business. It's not a healthy way to live your life, okay? You need to find joy in this exact moment, in the little things. Joy needs to be found even in the boring, habitual things that you probably just take for granted, like pouring your cup of coffee in the morning or when you're daughter or your child decides to sit on your lap and give you a big hug or a kiss, or when your child just runs to the door screaming for mom. I know for a fact I take for granted these little things. And I even just, right now I'm like looking at my house, like I live in a warm home, right? I have heat. Money is in my bank account. I have presents for my children for Christmas. My spouse loves me and is loyal to me. I have a child who does love to run in my office and sit on my lap and give me hugs. I have food in my belly. I have coffee brewing right now, right? I know this might seem so silly, but we have to strive to be joyous and be in a joyous state, even if we aren't at that level of success right now, or even if we just don't feel like it, if that makes sense, all right? The anxiety comes from that unknown feeling and from uncertainty and that pressure that you really put on yourself. And it's a you problem sometimes. Sometimes, I don't want to say all the time, but a lot of times it's us putting this pressure on ourselves. And weirdly, it's just you putting this doom anxiety on yourself, and it really has no reason to be there. No one is chasing you down for replies, likely. I would say likely. No one is making you update your website today. No one is making you post on Instagram, right? You put these pressures on yourself and these timelines that sometimes need to be completely ditched, right? So to hit 10K every single month, like I had to literally ditch that mentality. I was putting so much pressure on myself every single month to hit these money goals. But I'm like, I know money can come out of absolutely nowhere. There's going to be months where I make a lot of money and then maybe some months that I don't. I had to ditch that mentality that it had to be or look a certain way. And the last thing I want happening to you or for you is to burn out and just to hate working, to hate posting on social media, to hate working with your clients, to really just hate running a business, right? I want you loving all of this. I want you to love this so much that when you wake up in the morning, like this is the first thing that you think about and you're excited to get here, right? You're excited to step in your office. And you may be like, I do love it. I love it so much that I actually want to work all the time. And it's really hard for me to like balance that work-life balance. You know what I mean? Like with with your family life and your kids, like you might be a stay-at-home mom. So like you might not get all those opportunities to just sit in your office and have uninterrupted alone time, right? And so I get this so much. I truly love going and getting into my office every day. I have big dreams, just like you do. And I just want to get here. I want to get to those dreams so fast. And sometimes I just can't because of my lifestyle right now, right? Having small children that need you, or just having a spouse that also works odd hours. So not being able to work all the time, right? So I am you. I get you. I've been you. I am 100% with you on this, okay? But I have to keep reminding myself that this isn't going to last forever. Like my lack of time that I have, right? And also like my time frame of getting to that level of success, that is my next level of success, right? Like that isn't always up to me. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. Like the universe sometimes provides us with like obstacles or random setbacks because it just isn't our time yet. And trust me, I do wonder why I'm not making like $1 million like yet, right? But I also know that if the universe provided me with like 100 new clients for like a group program, I probably emotionally would be like, no, thank you. Like that's a lot of work. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of emotions to be holding for others. And sometimes we just got to be careful what we wish for, right? I'm not saying to dial back at all on your big dreams or your goals, because I do feel like there's always a learning experience in everything. So even if the universe is like, here's your 100 clients this month, I'd be like, okay, challenge accepted. Okay. But I am saying that sometimes we gotta let time catch up to us with all the actions that we have been taking. So trust that you and the universe have your own agreement and that it will unfold exactly how it's supposed to and when it's supposed to. And I do look for signs all the time. And I ask the universe to send me signs that I'm on the right path, that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that this is in alignment, right? And you might need to trust in yourself more. This was something that I really struggled with at the beginning, like trusting that I was making good decisions and that this was really my path, right? And I know this isn't the easiest task, okay? But trust that you make good decisions. Trust that the work that you're putting in will compile and be successful for you. If I gave up on my business after the first 6 months, especially like not seeing that massive growth that I wanted to see, like I do remember putting in my journal that I wanted to make like $88,000 by the end of the year. It was like something crazy. But I was seeing that from other coaches, right? Like we're watching other coaches be so successful and so rich. We're like, we can do that too. And I'm not saying you can't, because you can. There's a lot of money and limitless potential out there on the internet for you to make all this money. Trust me, okay? But you put so much shame and so much pressure on yourself to make all this money in such a short amount of time that you start hating it. You start like feeling so much anxiety and overwhelm. And you're just like, am I doing all the right things? So I want to tell you just to stick it out. Keep taking action. All right. Now for myself, like multiple 6 figures later and hundreds of clients served over the last few years, I had to really trust in my path. Like I'm so happy I didn't give up during those first few months, that when those were really hard emotionally. I had to trust that this path I decided to go down was for me, and that my future self, or like your higher self, whatever you decide to, if you are spiritual, like you have to remember that they probably wouldn't want you to fail, right? Like they're not trying to be mean to you, right? But they're providing me with what I need right now, what I can handle right now. Okay. I recently got off a call with one of my clients, and when we first started working together, she was like, I want 20 clients a month. And I was like, okay, cool. If I literally gave you 20 clients this month though, like what would happen? And she was like, oh God, you're right. I definitely couldn't handle all of those coming in. I was like, yeah, like, so sometimes we just have to sit there and go, what is realistic for myself right now? But also kind of going back to like your future self or that higher self, like they're not providing you with clients to be like rude or mean. I think they're doing this for you for some sort of lesson, or they're just trying to tell you to chill out. Like they're gonna come. Keep taking action. Keep showing up. Sometimes we need to make an energetic shift And sometimes that's really hard to do. Okay. So I really just had to trust in myself and my journey. And I'm trying to tell you as well, trust in yourself, trust in your journey, choose to have better thoughts around your life and around your business. And I chose to think of those setbacks and those obstacles for myself. Like those were lessons that I needed to learn. Like I might have said this to you on other episodes, but like I couldn't be the coach I am today without those. I couldn't be able to coach you guys all through that if I didn't have those myself, right? So everything was setting me up to be a stronger person, mentally, like having that emotional resilience. And just those are some of the biggest qualities that we need to have when we are business owners. It's just having that emotional resilience, emotional intelligence. And anyway, I know that, you are an entrepreneur for a reason. Anxiety is going to come up. So financial uncertainty, like pressure to succeed, just making like boss babe decisions, maybe not having the support that you really want, or might feel really lonely at home if you're a stay-at-home mom and you like really have nobody to talk to about your business. These are all things that are are reasons why we have a lot of anxiety, right? And so when we have like a really unpredictable day-to-day life, like we immediately start to kind of feel that overwhelm and that anxiety. And of course, I don't want you burning out, but that's really over time what it could happen if we don't learn to just trust in the process and trust in our journey. Okay. And one of the things that I kind of briefly talked about earlier, but I really want to circle back to is like shame. You feel like you should be further along. You have so much shame around your decisions that you've made in the past, or maybe you can't make decisions because you have kids, right? You can't work or you can't do all the big things that you want to do because you have things at home that are more important. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's more important. And you might see other people killing it and like getting all this traction and, getting clients. And it really does. It makes you feel like you're missing something and you want to get to that point too. You want to spend more time working. Oh, or maybe you're putting in a ton of hours. Let's be real. Like maybe you're like, Allison, I've made my business a huge priority, but I'm still not seeing the results I want. And you're just holding on to all this shame and resentment. So you gotta let this go. We have emotions and feelings that arise even if we've healed parts of ourselves. Like I still have moments where I'm like, the uncertainty or the shame and resentment. I have that stuff come up as well. And I go, God, I thought I've healed this part of myself. Like, why am I circling back to this? And then I just have to like acknowledge that. It's like, oh, this is a sign. I have some anxiety today. I have some overwhelm. I have some things that are popping up. Like these feelings, this anxiety that I have right now is telling me something, right? Our emotions are great indicators for what we need right now. So what do you feel that you need in this exact moment? What do you feel you need in this exact moment? Ask yourself this. Is it to work? Maybe. Maybe you need to go get a sitter and actually go to a coffee shop to get some work done, or just literally go to your office and shut the door and say, yeah, I need 20 minutes to get a post up or something. Maybe you need a nap. Maybe you need a snack. Maybe it'd be wise for you to go take your dog for a walk or just go outside and just set a timer for 10 minutes and go for a walk. Maybe it's you need to hire somebody. Maybe you don't want to do this alone anymore. Maybe you're just done trying to figure this all out yourself. Like hire a business mentor, get a new course. I don't care. Like whatever that is, like what is that next logical step for you right now? Like what do you need? So taking a small step to do something for yourself, these small little steps will accumulate over time, okay? We don't need to take these huge leaps to see the results that we want to get, okay? Forcing your business to work won't work. I've tried. Trust me, I've tried. Forcing it won't work. You can't keep operating that way and hoping for different results, right? You can't keep going, I'm just going to try and force. And by the way, forcing is rooted in fear. You can't control the timeline. If you are a control freak, I kind of feel like I'm a recovering control freak, but it still shows up. It still shows up in my life. But if you are a control freak, you get this. You are trying to control everything. You got to stop that. Letting go of the need to control opens up so much space for possibilities greater than you can even imagine. When you just let that anxiety go, like, oh, it just feels so much better. So when you're so focused or too focused on controlling the outcome, You might ignore intuitive nudges or signs from the universe pointing you in a better direction. Forcing clouds your ability to recognize when it's time to pivot or let go or make a big, bold move. All right. And in spiritual terms, and I know this is kind of a woo-woo episode. I love woo-woo, so I'm not apologizing. But in spiritual terms, the universe operates on the principles of alignment and flow. All right. So forcing things implies resistance to the natural timing or pathways that are meant for you. I know it's kind of like a weird way to say that, but when you're aligned, opportunities can feel effortless and like synchronistic. It's way more fun to run your business this way. All right. So business is more fun when you are in that flow state and you're not forcing things to happen. All right. So stop forcing things, try getting into the flow, and you can get into this flow state by just setting clear intentions. Focus on what you want, but detach from the how and the time frame. Okay. You need to take aligned action. So from a place of excitement and alignment, not from fear, shame, or pressure, right? So money is attracted to fun. Remember that. And then also trust in your unique divine timing. Understand that delays, obstacles, detours are a part of your process. So don't force or rush things. Okay, I know it's really hard to do, but don't force it or rush things. And then the last one, stay present and grateful. Focus on the journey, not just the outcome. This business is a spiritual journey for yourself, whether you like to believe that or not. It's going to help you look so deep within yourself and get to know the real you more than you've ever had to in the past. So by doing this, you'll likely not only have way less stress and anxiety, but also so much success. So much success, okay? I hope this episode helped you today. And even me, while writing this out, I felt like it was a little love letter to myself. It really did help me relax, helped calm my anxiety. Everything will get done when it's supposed to get done. And I am okay, and you are okay. This helped me just remind myself that I do need to relax and just get into that natural flow for myself and for my business. And yeah, stop being a control freak. Stop forcing things to happen and just, chill out. All right, babe. Thanks so much for listening today. Have a great week. And yeah, go do something that brings you joy today. And don't forget to breathe. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson _coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.